Hello everyone, thank you for my introduction. I'm Iryna Doronina and I'm from Ukraine. Now I'm actually working at the Institute of Science, Technology and Policy. It's a part of ETH Zurich. Today I would like to present an overview of energy system with mapping energy facilities and assessment of renewable energy for potential. It's good hear me because okay, let's start. Ukraine is one of the largest countries in Europe, covering more than 600,000 square kilometers and includes 27 regions. It's like canton in Switzerland. Ukraine was among the top 30 countries in the world by electricity production, with the largest nuclear power plants and bulkiest pumped storage power plants in Europe. The population before war was 41 million people. It's information for people from Switzerland. So Ukraine before war was a strong country with strong energy system. Next slide presents us the whole energy system of Ukraine. It's a centralized system named Unified Energy System of Ukraine that consists of 8 regional power systems. You can see West, Southwest, South, Crimea, Dnipro, Donbass, North and Central regional power systems. The core of the system is nuclear generation. We have 5 nuclear power plants, 4 of them are operating now, and all installed capacity at the beginning of 2022 was 59 gigawatt. Peak consumption was covered near 25 gigawatt. As you can see, Ukraine had large capacity reserves. Of course, Chernobyl nuclear power plant was closed due to disaster, and its closure led to deficit in central and north regional power systems. Next slide shows us an example of imbalance in generating capacities across the country. During peak consumption, central and north region was covered by surplus of other regions using long-distance transmission lines. The situation was like a wake point of the whole power system and was a reason for aggressors' attack. I would like to draw your attention that Russian full-scale aggression was at the same moment when Ukraine energy system started working as energy island without external connections. According to the previous agreement to join European energy grid, Ukraine energy system had to demonstrate its capacity and operate autonomously during 3 days. But I should note that the system operated in such mode during 22 days and connect with Moldova energy grids just on the 16th of March 2022. I said it again, that energy sector was one of the reasons and is one of the targets for aggressors' attack. At this slide, I would like to show the dynamic of consumption and generation at the beginning of 2022. Full-scale Russian invasion had dramatic consequences for whole energy system in first months of the war. Significant decline in consumption. In first day, our country left 4 million people. Situation for today is even more. According to statistics, 8 million people are abroad. Heavy industry, manufacturing, major production facilities, large part of agricultural sector was occupied in first months. Main thermal power plants were also occupied. Generation of nuclear power plants were temporarily stopped in first few days. As a result, the energy balance fluctuated between 10-12 gigawatt. And you can see a week before, the energy balance was 22 gigawatt. radical changes in energy sector caused by the war and require detailed analysis of situation and construction of effective maps for future recovery. But the reconstruction process requires a dialogue between government, donor countries, between local communities and businesses. How we can bring everything and everyone together as quickly and as possible. My answer is spatial analysis and GIS and maps. Actually, GIS maps are key component for creating new models of energy ecosystem and planning the reconstruction of territories. Investors and local communities at the same time are involved in planning specific maps which accelerate projects approval. The transparency of such maps helps to involve community in accessing projects. For my research, I also used ArcGIS, and you can see United Energy Systems, we mapped 95% of all installed capacities with description each power plant, including capacity, generation, all information before war for our future analysis. So Ukraine have, as I said, 5 nuclear power plants, 39 thermal power plants. We mapped all large hydro, solar, wind, also small hydro, biogas, biomassa, it's not too much. And we mapped by regions small hydro, small solar and small wind power plants. We mapped also electricity grids and the main substations. Ukraine was 100% electrified country. Entire population had access to electricity. You can see our backbone line, its transmission line, and distribution line. I hope this distribution line will provide us possibility to develop decentralized energy in future. But in the next slide, I am going to disclose the situation during the war. For excess damages, we used two ways. At first, we tried to understand territory where military actions were or are. But since October 2022, Russia changed its tactics and resorted to a massive attack on critical energy infrastructure. As a result, you can see maps. As said previous speakers, 20% of all territory of Ukraine is under military operations. It's near 130,000 square kilometers. It includes more than 200 cities and 62 districts. As a result of our research, it's also second map that includes more than 255 missile hits on main energy facilities. According to Ukrainian law, 97 power plants and transmission lines are defined as critically important, and the majority of them were attacked more than twice. As also you can see that main targets for Russia were our substation, high voltage substations, our thermal power plants, and large hydropower plants. A lot of power units were under emergency repair or could not operate due to damages to the power grids that significantly reduced ability to transmit electricity to consumers. 50% of nodal substations were unfortunately destroyed. So during peak consumption, these two deficit regions, central and north, cannot take energy from other regions. That's why we have blackout, rolling blackout. It was, as I said, main aggressor's target to leave Ukraine without heat and electricity during winter time. At this slide, I would like to represent our research work that includes damages by all type of generation and also by all regional power system. In that way, we can understand what we have before war, what we have damaged, and also we calculate potential for future. As future EU member, Ukraine is focused on green agenda and sustainable energy development. We reviewed the materials of state programs and previous researchers for last 5 years, and we understood that there are huge different range of potential values from 30 gigawatts to 600 gigawatts. In the main state documents, potential is considered as volume of oil equivalent for further replacement, and previous scientific Ukrainian research not give possibility to repeat their methodology. And international reports usually include continental scale analysis without concentration on particular country. That's why we used Iryna methodology, focused on Ukraine, and as results we have maps with potential polygons or territories where can be built solar or wind generation. According to this territory, we recalculate and got like technical potential for solar, it's near 50 gigawatt, and for wind, more than 223 gigawatt. And finally, last slide, I am grateful to Switzerland for a large number of scientific and practical projects that support rebuilding, recovery, development of Ukraine. I am happy to be a part of ETH family. I am also working with Peace Coalition. For example, now we try to, we have pilot project with 2 damaged cities, Andriivka and Kozarevichi. And I am also a member of Swiss projects. It's Mapping Ukraine. The aim of this project is to create an independent platform that will show the effects of war on infrastructure and land. So I believe that mapping, data analysis, are key investors' tools for transparent and non-corruption infrastructure rebuilding. Thank you for your attention.